Right, we're back. We're going to do more ETS multiplayer. We're going to start off in somewhere, Roscoff. We're going to head all the way over to Italy, actually. It's quite a good run, 27-hour drive, 1,262 miles. Going to have to stop. We're on server 1 because everyone else seems to be busy at the moment. So you got to behave yourself on this one. Which, hopefully, I will. I'll probably run through a red light or something. I'll forget to turn my lights on. I'll do something stupid. Anyway, select that job. That one. Is this where the job is? Yep, take job. Well, that's an easy start. That's not reverse though. Well, that's probably because it's only just started and YouTube's just being a pain. I think I've gone a bit wide. Yep, I have. My lights on. I'll forget sooner or later. Fuel 175. It's gonna need filling up. Yeah, it's nice to actually drive around in some greenery. Considering it was the snow mod before. Fancy the change. So, got to remember to try and stop at every light, because we're doing server 1 where it's simulation mode. So we've got to play by the rules. Excuse me. Come on, get in gear. So, fuel stop down the road. We'll stop in there, pick up some fuel. Because we're going to need quite a bit. Well, might as well look at the internet and see what you can get then. We don't want to be on you want to be shopping for houses. That's what I'd be doing if that's the case. Right. Well, you should be on a win-win then. Oh wow, brakes work better. I think I got too used to driving the winter mod and stamping on the brakes. Now it slows down really quickly. Yep. So if anybody's on the way to Italy and they want to join up, they're more than welcome to jump into chat and we'll try and arrange to meet somewhere and carry on going. Yeah, two random people having a talk on the side of the road yet again. Up to no good. We put the cruise on because we're going to behave as much as we can, because no, my luck, it will mess up sooner rather than later. Hell of a view over the sides. Again, you can't get to see all of it, but there's loads of detail over here. I'm not quite sure why that would be the case. And at the end of the day, as long as you've selected public, you know when you boot and you get the Truckers MP little window, I believe there's an option on there. I've never had that problem, to be honest, so I'm not quite sure what you would do. Have you tried doing a quick Google search for Truckers MP and public? Ah, that's a point. Have you tried? Is your Steam profile public or not? Because it links through Steam, it could be your Steam profile. Because that does ring a bell, actually. So Steam profile, make sure it's set to public. Because I remember doing that with mine, because mine used to be locked down. So it's going to be fairly quiet this one because we're away from the main group. We may see a few people in multiplayer, we may not. And we've got to be in that lane. Might as well get in the correct lane. You know what, I might have another tweak of my monitor setup. Double check the settings they give you. Whoa. Okay, turn that off. We're in the wrong gear completely. Right, let's crack on. 1,170 miles. Oh, 26 hours. What have I got to do this in? 54 hours. Wait, in simulation mode, do you have to sleep? Because I normally got that turned off. Can't tell. I'll find out when the screen goes black. Well, at least we've got some sunshine and a bright screen for a change instead of cold, miserable, snow everywhere. Which is nice when the sun's out, but most of the time it's foggy or snowing and ugh. And you're sliding into a wall. Change the map view so we can get a better look at where we're going. Paris. We're going straight on here and follow the road around. Oh, look, there was another player. Holy moly. I didn't even notice them until they'd gone by. I wasn't paying any. It's too busy scanning the map, going, right, which way am I going? He was like, choong, gone. Simulation, they don't honk each other in simulations, they just wave. Hi, everybody! I went for a change. I'm sick and tired of driving in the dark all the time. It doesn't make for a fun stream. Doesn't make for a fun stream when it's night and dark or most of the time. So I thought, let's have a little change. I was planning on keeping it winter mod until the new year, but I'll leave the winter mod, I think, for the single player because it makes it more interesting. But if I'm in multiplayer, I think I'll stick to normal, because not everybody's got the winter mod. So if anybody does decide to tag along, then it gives them more of a chance to do so, rather than have to download anything. And how you doing, Gareth? Are you right? What have you been up to? Have you had a fun day? Honk. Look at me behaving. I'm doing 54. I'm doing below the limit. Doing naffle. Haven't you been doing your farming? Or any trucking? This is almost the same section of road as last time. Stay in this lane. It is as well. It's like the same kind of turning. Yeah, we'd be doing just sitting down watching TV. Can't have been anything good on. There never is. Back to trucking next week, is it? Given up on the farm then, have you? Where's my coffee? Oh my god, it's nearly empty already. Ugh, should have been a double. Well, he did play it for a good session, so it doesn't hurt to have a change. Gets like that sometimes when you're playing a game. You just either don't know what to play, or you just fancy playing something new or different. There's the odd person out this way. We've got a bit of damage on the truck as well. Let's have a look. 2%. And I want to be going straight on. Let's check out the views. Well, don't leave the wheel alone too long there, Gareth, or otherwise it might seize up, you know. Don't think it will, but... imagine that. You've got to use the wheel, it's going to seize. Oh, here we go again. Well, you got to keep it in tip-top condition, you know. Make sure it's well greased. When you had the wheel fixed, did you get any more guarantee on the fix? You know, like a further 6 months or anything, or didn't they say? Like most of them, they don't bother telling you unless you ask. Nah, ah well. At least you got a wheel, it's better than nothing, that's for sure. To be straight on again. I don't think that camera's as straight as it could be up there. I've been messing with it again. Nope, that's overcooked it, haven't I? Look, Ma, no hands. That's a little better. Hold on, is that open? Can't tell. Hello there, yes, a GoPro. Hero 5 Black. It's above my head. This was rather there. Look out, watch the guy on the side of the road doing random stuff. Kicking stones. It only moves around if I grab it with my hand and move it like I was doing. No problems with this rig, solid as a rock. I mean, let's face it, 80 by 40, it's pretty strong. What do you mean by what trucks did I drive? I'm driving a Scania at the moment. I don't know if you can read that there in the window. But that's about the only truck I've got at the moment, because this is a new profile really, so this is the online profile. So I'll slowly try and build this one up. I had a bit of a money mod just to give it a kickstart, but I haven't done anything truck-wise with it. At the moment, just driving around, getting a few garages so I can hop around the map if I need to. That's 4 million. Enough to tie me over. You know, you could go stupid and put on like 400 million or something silly like that, but I just don't see the point. I don't know if you can have a T-cab on this. You're limited on mods with multiplayer. They don't allow them. What mods are allowed are only what they control, I believe. Now you put on a money cheat, basically. As I say, this isn't my main profile. My main profile has got no cheats on it. But I thought, well, if I'm going to do multiplayer, I might as well just slap a bit of cash on there. Then there's no stress or having to, you know, work your way up from the very bottom. So I've got my single player up to 80% map. I may, well, if I hit 100%, I'll definitely move that over to multiplayer, but not on this one. This one's the simulation one, so you don't want to be driving over the speed limits. You need to be keeping to the speed limits and obeying the rules. You know, so if you get a red light, stop at every red light. Indicate and try not to mess up, basically. Cost you money if you mess up. And you don't want to get banned either. Some things you get banned for. It's just a bit of scenery. Just to vary your road trips, they put some scenery randomly along the routes. I didn't think there was actually any in this, but clearly there is. Yeah, you can get banned on multiplayer if you're not careful. If you're seen to be crashing into people on purpose or being abusive to people, you can get banned. Not obeying the rules of multiplayer. You know, if you want to find out, just go on to Truckers MP and have a look at the rules. Plenty there. Yeah, well, they are flying, they are gone. Everybody seems to be going the opposite direction. I seem to be the only one going this way. What's the time? So 14:22 in game. Not quite sure if I should have grabbed such a long trip, but yeah, well, gives us something to do. Let's check that one out, shall we? It's pretty much smooth like butter through there. Some people want to beep, some don't. A little bit of cabling on this one. And again, we've got the standard ETS physics on this now, so it's rocking around quite a bit. Joanny, welcome, and thank you for the comments. This does me just fine. think I'm running out of room though. But gladly I can't think of anything else I'd want to add right about now. Have thought about getting a sequential shifter from Heusinkveld, if I could ever get one. May change the H pattern shifter that I've got, but again, other than the Fanatec one, which I'm not 100% keen on, there isn't really another one I want to get, because the next one I would get would be the pro level one, but that's just stupid money, because that's like 1,200 just on its own. And I don't think I want to spend that much just on a H pattern shifter. I think if I'm going to buy anything new, it'll be a new rim, new wheel. But it's not going to be anytime soon because, yeah, it's money doesn't grow on trees. Wish it did. Strasbourg. Oh, still got... Oh, we're down to 19 hours, so that's not 4 hours off so far. Somehow we've picked up a bit of trailer damage, but I couldn't see when. When did that happen? It must be general wear and tear. Yeah, the shifter I've got now, see, the SHH is similar to the Thrustmaster. Does H pattern, does sequential as well. I know the Heusinkveld sequential shifter, it's sequential only, but it's a really good feeling sequential. I know that they're planning on doing a H pattern as well, but it's still in development, and it's been like that for at least a year, if not longer. So I'd love to upgrade the H pattern, but the next level up for me would be the Fanatec H pattern sequential and H pattern. That sounds like somebody's been busy then. So yeah, and with the build quality of the Fanatec shifter, I've seen where people have broken the shaft on them, they know they've snapped, or the shifter themselves have failed, but that's like any product, you'll always find those people because they're the ones who are vocal about their product breaking. To me, I would prefer if somebody else who makes high-end stuff decides to go, yeah, okay, let's do a H pattern, we'll bring it to market, and see if they do a better job, to be honest. Plus the size of the thing, the Fanatec unit's huge. This is one of the reasons why I went for the SHH shifter, because it's a small, compact shifter, and it does sequential and H pattern. If somebody else out there produced a small one that does one or the other or both, then that's what I'd rather go for. That keep the size down basically, because it doesn't need to be that big. Just turn that off, grab a gear. Woo, that's a little bit rocky. Yeah, so does mine, but it's the quality. You know, the TH8A, I think it's called, the SHH. You know, they're budget shifters at the end of the day. They cost around £100. I think your one is a bit more expensive at about 140 maybe. the next level up, you know, you're looking at nearly 300 quid. Tell you what, they're nice pedals. Really nice. I'm enjoying them. Now, coming from a Fanatec V3 inverted pedal, I didn't think there would be a night and day difference, but boy, there is. Preferring them more and more every day, to be honest. I was doing a little bit of Dirt 4 before I decided to do some streaming. I was having a look at the online sessions, seeing if there's any people playing. There's a few people playing, not a lot though, so it was getting quiet, so I thought, well, I can't really stream if no one's playing, so I thought I'd do ETS tonight and we'll have another look another day. Excuse me, hiccups. Let's see if anybody's doing any rallycross. Haven't played Dirt 4 in a long time. Hold on, we're going a bit too fast here, aren't we? We're supposed to be doing 49. Whoop. Excuse me. So what kind of setup have you got, Joanny? Have you got a... I'm guessing you've got a wheel and maybe a rig already? Whoa, look at that train go. They look really cool. Had me by surprise, that's for sure. Right, how are we doing on fuel? So, 419 litres, 676 miles. Is there a ferry trip in this? Just back it off a little bit. Whoa, I didn't want to turn. Quite the road. That's a good little view. So 15 hours 28 with 630 miles. Got fuel coming up. We've got enough to get there, that's for sure. Still relatively quiet on the roads. There's another guy coming up. We're going to be turning. I'm sure he was in the wrong lane. Can see the back end of the truck raising up. Okay, we'll stop there, get the fuel. And start again. Wonder how far ahead he got. So that's filled up to the end now. That's 598 miles left to go. We've got 990 litres on board, so that's no problem for mileage. Oh, let's back it down a bit. That's a bit too fast. Next right. Whoa. Too busy looking at the text. Oh, this might be a bit sharp. Let's slow it down a bit. Stamp on those brakes. Whoa. A little bit tighter than expected. It looks like it's going to get really tight up ahead. I think I picked a really good section of road. That's a hell of a view. Where are we? Geneva is getting to north of Italy, really. It's no wonder we got the winding roads. Looks like we've got another truck up ahead. Better get to the inside view just in case. Probably going to meet on some tight corner somewhere. Oh no, we're catching them up. know. Having a party. Where's he stopped? Why has he stopped? Oh, Jesus. This is north of Italy. There's Genova over there on the map. So we're in the windy roads. He messed up his gearing and he messed up mine now. And we still got 537 miles to go. Pescara, if that's how you pronounce it, in Italy itself. So we just come from Roscoff. So it's a 1,200 mile trip. Wow, look at that. That looks really cool. Gonna back that down a bit. Thank you, ePlant, and welcome. It's an ever-growing setup, like all these things are, really. Slowly adding to it or changing things. What's that getting there? It's coming along. Ah, it's a big-ass map they gotta do. I'm sure they will at some point. You know, I wonder how they decide which area they're gonna do next. I mean, is it part of the community that helped decide? Hello, Ben. How you doing? And Ben, thanks for the subscribe. I'm very good, thank you. We're just having a relaxing drive in ETS on our way to a destination in Italy, so we're going to get some interesting roads. I do like the Italy area. That other guy who was ahead of me, I think he's raced off. Blimmin' heck, I don't know how fast he was going. Oh, he's still there. He's racing ahead. He was 800 and now he's just vanished off my list. He did stall it, so we did catch him up. Don't know what he did. I don't know how did he stall it, but there as well. He was at the top of the hill, flattening out, and he stalled it. Thank you very much. It's taken me a fair amount of time, but it's been built up over a period of time, and it's always changing. Have you got a setup yourself, or just starting out? Yeah, I'm kind of the same. But this is the simulation server 1, so you gotta really keep a lid on it, you know, so I'm using the limiters as much as possible. Like I'm doing it now, I'm doing 50 in a 43 zone. And the truck is limited to a max of 55 anyway. What do you use then, Ben? I've done again, I'm in 50, and it's a 40, oh, it's dropped down to 37 now. Back it off a little bit. Our retarder's on. Well, I guess you're gonna need it if that's the case. Main thing is, as long as you get to enjoy, innit? Doesn't matter whether you've got, you know, £150 steering wheel strapped to a desk or a couple of £1,000 spent on a rig, as long as you get to enjoy the game. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's just getting online and having fun and doing what you like to do. Nah, I don't use Spotify. And I certainly can't use Spotify when I'm streaming on YouTube. Wow, 6 screens? Don't think I'd have the room for 6. What do you do with the 6 then? Do you all use all 6 for driving, or do you just use 3 and have the others doing something else, or what do you do? Well, Apad, I'd recommend getting the Baltic when you can. Ben. 1 for music, 1 for Discord, 1 for chat. Is there a reason why you have 1 screen per item? I mean, I have a 4th screen up above, and I have my stream on there, and I monitor my temperatures, and I've got Skype open, and this, that, and the other. That's just fair enough. I mean, at the end of the day, if you've got the screens and you've got the room... Yeah, keep an eye on CD keys, because it's down in price on there quite regularly, so I would check there, say, at least every once a week. And you may find a deal on it. I think it's down in price now, but it's only like, I don't know, 11 quid was it? I can't remember, so it's not a huge discount. No problem, Ben. Because it adds a sense of realism to the game, so ETS would be a very, very boring game for me if I wasn't doing something other than just moving a wheel left and right. You know, it's not a fast-paced game, so by using the shifter, using the pedals, having to use the clutch like you would do in real life, it would just brings you into the game more, and it makes you think. Because you're thinking, okay, I've got to be in, what, 13th, I've got to shift down to 10th, or I've got to shift down to 7th. You know, I often mess it up anyway, but I prefer it with a shifter because, you know, it makes it more enjoyable for me. Got a microphone right by here, you can see the tip of it in the video. Yeah, Baltic one, definitely recommend. I'd recommend them all. I mean, I know some people have their preferences when it comes to the DLC, but to be honest, buy them all. I mean, if you've played any of ETS for any period of time and you're planning on carrying on, you may as well just buy all the DLC. Granted, I would always recommend buying in a sale. I use a mic because it gives me better audio quality. I could use a headset, but it'd be worse audio quality. And I just want to make sure that the video looks as clean as possible and the audio sounds as good as it can. You know, I hate it as well, you know, you're watching a video and you've got somebody talking away and they've got a terrible mic. You know, 9 times out of 10, probably turn that video off and go on to the next one. I really long for a better ratio, you know. I don't know what the ratio is in game at the moment in terms of distance, you know. I believe there's something they're releasing. Is it SCS? I remember... Ah, it's a mod. There's a mod coming up which is like a... Is it out already? Oh. Might be interesting. I'd have a look at it. I'd have to find it. What's it called? Treason. Region with a T. So what was the scale again on there? 2:1 or something. I bought it off the internet. I think it was Amazon I got it from. It's a Audio Technica AT2020 microphone. I've been through all sorts, you know. I've used the Blue Yeti mic. I've still got the Blue Yeti as a backup microphone, but I wanted something a little bit smaller, not in your face, and didn't have a big shiny metal ball on the end. So I got this instead because it's nice and black. Yeah, the main thing I would like is a more detailed map for sure, and probably closer to a 1:1 ratio in terms of distance and time. Granted, that'll probably never happen. My ultimate would be something like just choosing a particular region, I don't know, let's say Italy, and have that 1:1 mapped with Google Maps. But I don't think they'll ever get round to doing anything like that. Not in my lifetime anyway. But that would be cool. Everything was bought online. You know, if the screens were from overclockers.co.uk. The steering wheel was from a guy in the UK, can't remember the shop name right now. I think it's in the description down below. The rig I built myself and custom made myself. Bought the parts, the metal though online again, that was delivered. The button box, I bought the parts myself and put it together myself. The tablets and the phone was from AO.com. The tablet was from Amazon. Stream Deck was from Amazon. There's a Fire over there. Keyboards from Amazon. So yeah, a lot of it from Amazon. How much? How? It's anyone's guess. I mean, I can only estimate that maybe I've spent in the region between, I don't know, 8,000, maybe more. But it's not something that I've gone and purchased overnight. It's grown over years. I want to do that one. My retarder's activated. Brake. Oh, get through. That was close. Don't know where that 3% damage on the trailer's come from. what week. Oh, do you know what? They've changed those toll booths as well. It used to be you can go through at 30, but now you've got to go through at like 20, otherwise you smack straight into them. Really annoying. As to what week my gear came, I couldn't tell you because they came at different weeks. But the majority, if you were wondering how long it took to arrive, then you're probably looking within a week for each item, bar the wheel. The wheel took one of the longest because it was on order. It was a brand. I bought it just when they launched this particular setup. I'm quite glad I did. It was a hell of an investment. Certainly more than I wanted to spend, but I'm glad I did. Oh, I couldn't remember that. Why didn't I pick them up? Because it was free delivery. So the companies, you know, they're dotted all over the UK. So why travel hundreds of miles when I can get it delivered to my doorstep? You know, and if it's free delivery, oh, hell yeah, I'll take that. Alright, we're going to back off. I'm doing 55 and a 49. I'm being naughty. Parma, Italia. And well, yeah, if I didn't order them, I wouldn't have them. I would love for somebody else to order them and buy them for me, but yeah, no, I bought them all myself and ordered it all myself. Yeah, I've been to Italy. Number of times. Been to Roma, been to Sardinia, so yeah. Very nice, very warm. However, the last time I went, I think it was thunder and lightning for like a couple of days. That was awesome though, because the lightning out there looked brilliant. Yeah, well, you know, you're a little further away, so granted it's going to be a bit more of a problem. But I'm lucky, so I've got family out in Italy, so all I need is a plane ticket and go out there and stay there. Oh wow, look at that. That's a crazy building, whatever that is. It's like a... It's for the train, is it? That's awesome. I want to go on a train and go through that. Yeah, that's a bit crazy, isn't it? It's cheaper to fly further afield. You would have thought it'd be the other way around. Bologna. So we... Ooh, okay. Knock it down to one. Yeah, but how much would it cost you to drive? I mean, you know, it's a big place at the end of the day. It's not like most places in Europe where, you know, we're all divided up and to get from one side of the country to the other, it's a lot shorter. That was the wrong gear. Hello there, Roy. How you doing? Yeah, but then when you factor in time, I'm sure time comes into it heavily. You know, how long is it going to take you to drive from one side to the other compared to fly? I'm very good, thank you, Roy. What have you been up to? Well, that's where it comes in, see? That's probably the way they look at it for your domestic flights. They're thinking, well, you know what, if we make it around the same for the cost as it would be to drive, you know, where they win is the time scale. Well, I don't know. I talk to most people in the UK, they complain about the trains just as much. Maybe in other parts of Europe, yeah. What is that? That's a plane. I haven't seen that one. It's the plane falling off the back of a truck. I didn't think they were supposed to have these things in multiplayer, or is it just me? Or is it just in the server one, maybe? Well, it's just in the other server I was playing, they didn't have them. You just had the people standing there kicking nothing. You've probably ridden on more trains than I have in the UK than I try not to do public transport. Ugh. But then again, I'm not one for travelling around, so I'd rather go on a plane for sure than be stuck on a train somewhere. I did a train from Wales up to Scotland one day. That was a 14-hour trip. I probably could have driven there quicker. That was a shocking day, that was. I don't know whether I just picked the wrong train or what. Yeah. I did the trip again, but I did it in a plane that took less than an hour. But if I probably programmed it in on the sat-nav, you could probably get from where I live to Scotland in probably less than 14 hours for sure. Probably something like, I don't know, off the top of my head, 6 to 8 maybe. Because from where I live to Scotland, there is no direct link. You have to go a roundabout way. So by the time you've gone here, there, around here, go up. 14 hours later, you're pulling your hair out going, why did I do this? Well, if you enjoy your trains, you need to have a look at the UK train lines and plan your trip around the UK on trains. God knows how much that would cost. Wow, look at that, down to 4 hours and 18. We've done quite well. Still not sure where the damages come from, 5 and 3, but hey. At least there's nothing on their the goods. Actually, it's quite good doing multiplayer. That's the one good thing, is it stays daytime way longer. Well, you might need the odd ferry here or there, but you know, a little boat trip and then carry on. Aidan, good to see you. Welcome. A fair bit of cash. You know, you're probably looking a good probably 8 grand, but you know, it's something that hasn't been purchased all in one go. This has definitely been a labour of love and bought bits and bobs. Over a period of time. Oh, forever ongoing, this one. Never stopping. There's always something else that you think, oh, you know what, I could get something slightly better here. I mean, I've got my limits. I probably won't upgrade the wheel ever again unless it breaks. I probably won't touch the pedals ever again unless something happens to them. Shifter may change. I may buy a new add-on wheel. Handbrake, I've got no reason to look at changing that unless it breaks. The only other consideration I may have is a 4th screen. Change that one, because the one up above there is slightly faulty. It flickers when turning on, so I'm expecting that to pop its clogs at some point, but other than that, not much else to do. Well, no, I mean, I progressed from what back in the very early days, had a G27 steering wheel clamped to a desk. Sold that, got a G29, started to get back into my driving games. And then I decided to sell that and upgrade to a Thrustmaster TSPC Racer. 6 months down the line, that went faulty, and Thrustmaster weren't willing to do anything about it, so I thought, nah, I'm sending it back. So I sent the wheel back, and that's when I decided to take the jump to this. I was thinking of going for a Fanatec setup, but I thought, why go for belt driven again for about £900 when I can get direct drive for about £1,000? So I decided to jump onto one of these, and that's when it started then. Why have I got the headlights on? Because at some point I'll forget to switch them on, and you can get banned in multiplayer for not having your headlights on at certain times. Like now, I think it's after 7 PM if I remember correctly. So yeah, if you're driving along, you won't have your headlights on, you get a warning, and if you don't notice the warning, you're kicked off the server. And if you do that too often, they'll do a temporary ban. I believe. I might be wrong. I've read the rules once, many moons ago. They're always changing the rules anyway. No, not really. It's difficult for me. I tend to be streaming most evenings in the UK time of around about 8:30 PM. I've been streaming a bit extra recently because I've had time off work, so it's allowed me to do a bit more. But when it's back to regular, certainly from the new year, it's usually in the evenings UK time. Now this is multiplayer at the moment. I'm just driving in an area where it's very quiet, which is great because it means there's no other trucks in the road and I can get to go and not have to worry about anything. I can't believe I picked up a 24-hour job in this game. It's taken me ages. Got another 2 hours to go. Oh, what have you been purchasing then, Aiden? Did Santa bring you some nice PC goodies? Yeah, I'm on multiplayer. I'm forcing myself to try and get into multiplayer because it's I've given it a go a few times and was like, oh, okay. But I'm like, nope, I must persist. And so far it's been good. If the roads are a little quiet now and again. Ryzen chips are very good. I'd recommend anybody who's starting out on a PC to go Ryzen route rather than Intel. Unless you've got the cash to splash, Ryzen's probably the better bet, to be honest. Because you'll get similar performance for a slightly cheaper, shall we say. Well, if you drive through certain hours on multiplayer, I believe it's 7 AM to 7 PM, you can drive without lights. But because this trip is a 24-hour trip, it'll go past 7 PM at some point. So I'll just leave the lights on. There's no difference. It's not as if it uses a real battery or anything, so it's all good. Yeah, this is it with multiplayer. This is the one problem with multiplayer. Obviously, because of if you're in a busy area and there's loads of other people around you, you don't want AI because AI will just choke the system up. You know, it gets choked up now with just, you know, say 10, 20 people, 20 trucks in front of you. If you add AI on top of that, that's just going to be more work that the PC has to do. So they've kind of made it so, you know, play multiplayer, but you don't get AI traffic. Comes down to cost and how much money you've got, mate. I would certainly recommend something like a 1060. The only battery in my setup is in my keyboard. Well, tell a lie. Tablets, phone, keyboard. That's about it. I don't think this thing will run off batteries otherwise. I wish it did. My electricity bill would be a lot less. Zavor, welcome back. How you doing? Did you get it working, buddy? Comes with triple A's. And a set of double A's. I said now I'm going to keep a battery underneath the wheel here. I'll take it out. Look, there's a battery. That's what it's plugged into. That'll be funny. Did you check your Steam settings? Because I recall having to change the profile settings to a public profile. So if you've got your Steam profile kind of locked down, so no one can see you online, this, that and the other, that could be what they're talking about, if I remember correctly. But do Google search on how to install Truckers MP, and I'm sure it'll be all listed there for you. Well, unless you got a setting wrong somewhere, but I can't think of what else that would need to be changed. Offkey, how you doing? If you go back far enough, those TVs, you have to wind them up and everything. Oh, look at that. That's a cracking sunset. Sometimes this game gets it just right. And then we got to turn away from the sunset and lose it and not enjoy it. Oh, there, Alex, how you doing? Yeah, I know. Right be over there. I can see it in the mirror. Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. Just chilling, trying some multiplayer on my own. So it makes me think, why am I doing that? But, nice to have quiet roads. Don't have stupid AI trying to knock me off. Oh, there we are. Delivery's going to be dropped off just by here now. And there's no one else here. Oh, lovely. No one likes travelling to Italy, is it? Brilliant. I think we're in here. Beep beep. Delivery! Hold on. Let's have the right gear, shall we? Well, it's a tight fit. I'm assuming we're in the right place. Don't tell me this is one after reverse around the corner, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, there it is. It's got a dodgy USB cable on it. I was having USB dropouts for ages and I didn't twig at all that it could be the shifter. And then one day I was driving along and next thing you know I had all sorts happening. So one day I decided to go through all my USB devices, and that was a pain in the butt because I've got shed loads. I've got 4 USB hubs plugged into this thing. And discovered that the shifter was dropping offline and coming online on its own. So I carried on and thought it was a USB hub to begin with. So I've tried different ports and God knows what. And after swapping that up and finding it was still happening, I decided to investigate further. And the cable that plugs into the shifter, when you moved it, you could hear it dropping off the connection. So I ended up testing it in a laptop just to make sure, and it was exactly the same. It was showing a USB error on the device. So I contacted the guy I bought it from, which is the Almar, same as Mark's, and hold on a second, waiting for this to go in. Go in! There we are. And it's still under warranty, so he said, well, send it back with all the warranty details and he'll fix it. So I sent that off today, and hopefully in a week or two we'll get it back all nice and new. Yeah, it's nice to play with a full setup, you know, when you've only got the 2 pedals. You know, yes, you can play it with the 2 pedals perfectly fine. But yeah. So what pedals are you running, Aiden? Reversing's easy. What I've learnt is not to overcompensate and don't overwork the wheel to begin with, because the more wheel input you put in, the more you'll end up having to compensate. The more you compensate, you end up just going round in circles and just going worse and worse. So I've just learnt to, when you're reversing, less is more, basically. There's not a lot around here, is there? Ugh. Should we take a short trip across the way then? Looks like it. We'll take the 20-tonner. Actually, no, we'll take the... Yeah, let's do that one. Well, you could always go for the next Thrustmaster set of pedals. Are we all linked in? No. Because I know Thrustmaster do a 3-pedal set. It's either that, or you think about going, you know what, jumping up, but it's all about cost at the end of the day. Mind you, there's nothing stopping you picking up a set of Logitech pedals, buying a USB converter, and using those instead. No, you can still, as long as you've got spare USB ports, you can add wheels, you can add shifters. So don't think that you're tied into one particular brand. When I was upgrading this lot, you know, I was running Fanatec pedals, Thrustmaster steering wheel, SHH shifter, had a Heusinkveld handbrake. Not one of them was working off another item. They all had independent plugs. So don't think for 1 minute that you are tied into one brand at all. Because you've got your wheel, yeah? Your wheel will connect via USB. As long as you've got a spare USB port, there's nothing stopping you buying a Logitech set of pedals. You can buy a Logitech pedal to USB converter, and you can plug those in. You could use those. That's a cheap way of getting a 3-pedal upgrade. You could go for, obviously, the Thrustmaster 3-pedal upgrade. Or if you wanted a splash out, you could buy a basic set of Fanatec pedals, plug them in via USB, use them as well. They will all work. Oh look, somebody else.
There is no incoming call.
What? Did I say your name? I don't think so. She's piping up again. Right, what have we got? 361 litres. We've got to travel 149 miles, so it should be nice and easy. That was the old Echo. Piping up. I didn't say her name. I'm not going to say it now because she'll start off again. I'm in the UK from Swansea, in South Wales. Oh look, there's a garage there. I'm half tempted to pick that one up. Give me a garage in Italy so I can fast travel. The virtual version. Do you know what? The road sections in this game are quite similar to the ones around here. Not all of them. Right, we're going to buy this one. Because we haven't got a place in Italy, so that'll help for fast travel and what have you. Where are you based then, Aiden? Right, hold on. I'm doing something I really shouldn't do in a multiplayer. Reversing onto a main road. But it's not like I can't. There's no one around me at the moment. Ah, Staffordshire. It's a little trek. And we're off. Yeah, when I first did my upgrade, just to give you an example, I had the G29 as well. I was running a G29 pedals, didn't use the shifter. I bought the SHH shifter. That plugs in by USB. And when I started my upgrade properly, the first upgrade I did was jump up to Fanatec pedals. So I took away the Logitech pedals and plugged in the Fanatec via USB. So I was using G29 USB to the PC, Fanatec pedals USB to the PC, and the shifter USB to the PC. Yeah, it's like anywhere. It's very rare that you'll live in a place that you'll end up being 100% happy with. You'll always think, oh, it's always better on the other side, but sometimes it's better the devil you know? Oh, look out. This is a bit of a bendy bus. It's kind of like, look at the wobble on that. Gotta watch out for that one. Can I go through this one? Don't tell me this is going to be a dead end. There's no sign by here. Nope, it's a toll road. Yay! Get up that hill, come on! Should have slept, didn't think of that. Oh well, it's only a short trip, 3 hours. We might get a glimpse of that sunset if I can get around this corner quickly. That's gonna be a nice view, look at that. Look where I'm at. The Italy scenery, I love it. I don't think it's really gonna show off on the screens like that. I should be zoomed in more. You kidding? I'd pretty much love it. Aiden, keep an eye out on for when they're on sale and pick them up. I'd recommend all the DLC for this game. If you've got the cash and they're on sale, grab them when you can. I really do hope that one day they'll do either SCS or somebody who will do a similar design to this, but they'll work to a one-to-one scale. So you're not going to be talking about doing, you know, European truckers, but you may do like UK truckers or something, or do certain areas like, I don't know, London or Scotland, Wales, Ireland. Well, check Steam if you're check Steam, always check CD keys. Because what you tend to find is if it's not on sale on Steam, it may be on sale on CD keys, and then the other way around. Or check the All Key shop. They'll do updates on pricing as well. Haven't they got parts of Greece in the game though? I could have sworn they had. I can't remember. May not be like a full Greece mod, but I'm sure they got parts of. So whether that's gonna add on to a future expansion. Open sesame. Oh, that was close. No, not DLC, but I'm sure there's part of Greece in there. Or was that... maybe that was Pro Mods, I don't know. Problem is, I've played so many different expansions, I can't remember which one does what. Roma. What is the time? Oh, wow. Well, there's no one else around me. Andreas, good to see you. How long have I been playing? Long enough. I think my main profile, the game is on about, what, 8, nearly 900 hours? But so far today, for this stream, 1 hour 48. Oh, that's not opening quickly. Jeez, I hate it when they do that. That's my gears gone. Oh, they'll get round to it. They're always going to be expanding. They're going to want their little bit of money that they get off it. Wonder how much they actually make, though. A lot of people who play this game. And with the likes of Pro Mods, then... you know, if you want to play Pro Mods these days, then you'll have to have all the DLC anyway, so... you know, it's another incentive to get the DLC. Excuse me. ATS, though, is still a good game. But that's growing. And it's glad to see that they're still adding to that. And as they add to it, you know, it'll only get better and better, to be honest. I mean, they've still got the detours on ATS. That's something I'd like to see on ETS. I don't think that's on here yet. Yeah, this is multiplayer at the moment. I'm not big on multiplayer. That's something I'm trying to do more and more. That's why the roads are dead. It's not because there's no one around. This is because it's multiplayer. It's a server 1 at the moment, so it's relatively quiet. Couldn't get on the other servers earlier, so I thought, well, why the hell not? I'll just jump on this one. Hey, you never know, maybe they'll just launch Canadian truckers. Could be a possibility. So just remember, guys, if you fancy tagging along in a multiplayer one day, just let me know. If you see me online driving. And again, if you're limited with DLC, you can always let me know and I can limit the areas, because as I say, I've got all the DLC, but I don't have to travel in all the DLC. I can limit it to certain areas. Just so happens that I'm stuck down in Italy at the moment. I mean, there we are. Look, I'll show you now if I go to... Oh, I can't. Can I have to stop the truck? I'll do it later. Rome discovered. There we are. See, look. I'm opening up a lot of areas, or as many areas as I can, as quickly as I can, because I want to be able to fast travel. Uh-oh. Well, Andreas, it's always nice to say please, you know. Give me a moment. Let me get around this corner, I'll do an exterior cam for you. People are so demanding online. Show me a truck. Brr. Give me a second. Too many corners. I'm only kidding. If I do it now, I'll probably crash into a signpost somewhere. Oh, we're getting there, we're getting there. Nothing fancy. It's a bit dark. Oh, that's a signpost taken out. See, told it I'll take out a signpost. Well, you haven't got many to go then. What you do want to do is the next time they release a DLC, jump onto CD keys like a month before the release, and CD keys will probably have it discounted to something like £8 to begin with, because that's what they did. They had it for like £8, £7.99 or something before the release, and as it got closer and closer to the date, the price started to go up a pound again, until I think a week before it was, you know, just like £2 off the full price or something. So one of the best times to buy is CD keys like a month before the release is due to come out. Right, which way am I going to go on this one? I'll try this way. Because then you can get it at a cheap price before it's released, rather than paying nearly full price. Right, where are we? Okay, we're over there. Cut it in, turn it out, turn it in, and reverse. We need to be a little bit sharper on that one. Bing. Oh no. No, I don't know what it is with CD keys, but the last few times I've looked at the, like, I think the last two releases, they've had it early. Well, not early, because they can't release the DLC until obviously it's officially released. But they had it priced earlier and cheaper than anywhere else. Now, I was a bit silly because I was playing the waiting game thinking, oh, it may go down in price, but it didn't. It didn't go any cheaper. They had the price at the cheapest before launch. It went up in price, or started going up in price, about at least 3, maybe 4 weeks before the game was released. Because when it was released, it was about £1 cheaper than the full price. And then shortly afterwards, the price started coming back down. But I don't think it's ever gone as low as the original pre-release price, which was like £8. I think I purchased it at about £9.50 because I was like, oh, hold on a minute, I'm going to buy it up because it's going up in price now. So the next time they'll launch, that's what I'm going to do. The next time they'll bring out a DLC, oh, don't start. The next time, Echo's going to go off again now. The next time they'll do a release, I'll be checking CD keys, and if they've got a pre-release price and it's a really good price, I'm just going to buy it straight away because I know I'm going to get it. Right, do we have a job? Ooh, that's better. I like that. But I don't know if I want to go over there. Maybe Austria might be a good one. Check. What did I just click? No. I don't want to go there. Ah, crap. Well, hold on. Let's go and get... I think I can change the job when I go and select it. Let's reverse. Right. Where are we? Right. Will it let me choose one? Or is it going to be a pain? Ooh, what's that one? Reservoir tank? Yeah, I think I'll do that one in Austria. It's 13 hours. They're all pretty much the same though. That's Germany. Let's do Austria. We may get a bit of coast there. We might get some good views. We'll take that one. Oh, seriously? Wait, have I got a job on my back? Let him see where he's going. I'll be nice. Right, what have I done? I've selected something I shouldn't have. Yes, I'll pay the fee, I don't care. Oh, someone's damaged. Can hear them coming in. Right, we want to do that one. Job. I think I was on the wrong one, wasn't I? I think I was on a quick job when I did it. Right, hold on. Let me drive to that. I want to get it from this. Right, freight market. But they don't have the same one there now, do they? Yet. Okay. Rather frustrating. Milan. Logs. We'll do the reservoir. Because it's not an urgent delivery. Still 13 hours. Take job. Pick it up. Please tell me I selected the right job, right? It must be around the back. It is. He should have repaired. He's quick parked it. Okay, add that on. They've done something, haven't they? It's only the one that seems to have the damage, though. I think we'll get out of here before they decide to crash into me. It's just a random strip. But it was nice to add a bit of colour. Plus I had a spare LED strip, so it's stuck to the back of the rig. Yeah, it's on the attached to the beam that goes between the monitor. So the monitor's attached to a beam, the beam's attached to two floor standing beams. The back of that beam is plain, it's empty, bar wires being stuck to it, so I've mounted the LED strip along that. And that reflects against the wall on the floor, and off you go, Bob's your uncle. Well, I was looking at the stream and I thought, that's a lot of black. Oh, I forgot my fuel. Remember fuel. We'll go and get that now. Well, I can kind of talk when I'm doing the rallying stuff as well. It just... sometimes I need to get to a little area where I can actually glimpse the screen. Oh, wow, what have I got on this? What's the weight? It's only 11 tons. Right, keeping an eye out for fuel. Oh, crap. Why does it look like there's no fuel on the way? Hello there, Craig! In Scotland. Hello from Wales. Well, that was weird. It's only a game at the end of the day. If I'm really trying for it, then I'll just say, hey, you know what, I can't answer a second, I've got to concentrate. And Craig, thanks for the subscribe. I've learnt not to say thank you to everybody that subscribes, because if I did, I'd be here all day. And if there's somebody talking in chat and they subscribe, I will gladly say thank you. Because a lot of the times I'm saying thank you, and half the time people aren't even in the stream watching it, they're just subscribing. I don't know why. It's YouTube for you, random stuff goes on. I was thinking of doing some Dirt 4 rally today. I haven't done Dirt 4 for a while, but I know they do multiplayer rallycross on it. So I was had a quick go before I came on ETS, but there was only like 4 multiplayer streams or servers going, and the one I had joined had about 3 races, and then everybody left, and they were slowly just going down and down. So I thought, ugh, by the time I end up getting a stream going, there'll be no servers going. So I thought, right, we'll do ETS, and maybe we'll do Rallycross another day and give that a try. I haven't done Rallycross for a long time, so I'm going to be rough as hell, but should be good fun. How many people out there have got Dirt Rally or Dirt 4 even? Could always host my own servers and people could join. I'm still building it up. Never heard of Dirt Rally? Oh my god. Well, Dirt series has been going for years. Started from the Colin McRae series early on back in the PlayStation days. And then it came in with Dirt 1, 2, 3, Dirt Rally, Dirt 4. There's Dirt 2 coming in. And Dirt 2's coming out in February next year. Looking forward to that one. I've already done my pre-purchase on that one, ready for it. Speaking Greek. It's not all trucks, you know, you can drive other vehicles. Pretty much at the moment, it's the only truck I've got an MP. On my single player, I've got all sorts. My single player, I'm 80% map, and a lot of the map is, you know, opened up. I've got more companies that I can shake a stick at and all of that rubbish, but on multiplayer, I've never been a big multiplayer guy, so multiplayer is very new to me, and I'm just easing myself into it, shall we say. Well, Jake, get it downloaded. You're more than welcome to join the next time. You know, this isn't going to be a one-time event. I'm going to be trying to make more of an effort with multiplayer, to be honest. So if you ever see a stream with multiplayer in it, hop on. You're more than welcome to. Oh, battery low, headset's gonna go. Oops. There we are, that's a nice price. The other option, see, would be look at the Logitech pedals. But then I wouldn't buy them new. Well, you can't. I don't think you can buy them on their own new, but you can get them second hand. I nearly bought a set to keep as a backup, just in case my pedals went whoop. Yeah, you're the same as me, you see. I prefer the mods that you can use. You know, I like to use the modded trucks now and again. I'm not heavy on modding day in, day out. But I like adding mods now and again. Certainly the... Oh, what's his name? Jazzy Cat's cars, mods, and things like that. Like to add them in. And I like having the traffic. The traffic does make it more appealing to me. It's like this now. This is multiplayer, but where's everybody? We're all sitting outside Calais somewhere having a coffee, you know? But if you're the other side, it's going to be a quiet game. And at the moment, I'm trying to drive around the map as much as I can to try and get myself garages in certain parts. So if I want to do a quick travel somewhere, I can. And, you know, yes, I could mod the game and hack it so it's completely opened and all the money and everything, but I've put a little bit of money in there with a hack, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. I want to try and enjoy it as well. Yeah, truck sounds as well, everything. So, you know, I'm one of those who's heavily into single player, has given multiplayer a try before, and thought, meh. Server 1 at the moment, the simulation one. I'm not doing too well because I'm speeding yet again. Well, the Logitechs are usually they're usually sold as a complete set. You'd have to look somewhere on eBay and see if anybody's selling a set on the cheap. You know, if you can pick up a set, say, for 60 quid. The problem is you have to factor in the USB adapter then. You have to buy the adapter for them. I quite like the Logitechs, but to me, if you buy the Logitechs, then you have to buy the Logitech spring mod for the brake. And that's another, what, 15, 16 quid. You may be better off just going with the Thrustmaster pedals anyway for £100, because by the time you've got the USB, the spring mod, unless you're getting the pedals for cheaper than 50 quid, may not be worth you. Well, holy moly, that came from nowhere. Yeah, I need fuel. I kind of messed up there. I've got 8 litres left. And I just went past the thing because I was too busy talking. So, who's going to get out and push? Well, we got 2 litres left. And we're going to look at the map. I don't think there's anybody nearby though, because we are like the next fuel station's right up there. Right, hold on. There she goes. I'm going to be in trouble now because you're on multiplayer with no fuel. I'm going to have to pull over. You were out of fuel. See, I'm not going to do the special I did last time. I did a trip before where I was out of fuel. I managed to roll into the gas station. Tow, please, to the nearest one. Hopefully that'll take me up the road. Yes, I agree. Too busy yapping, that was. Let's take my hazards off. I tried to be good. At least put my hazards on. So they give me what? 200 litres? Right, where's the nearest fuel station? Alright, there's a garage there. I can buy the garage if I need to. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I wasn't expecting that to be pitch black. I was like, come on, you could at least put a light on it. Is that a buy it now? That's a hell of a price, 40 quid. Are they broken? Hold on. I need to take this message off because I can't see which direction I'm going in. I think I've just gone the wrong way. No, they're not, but they are nice. I know, granted, mine's gone faulty, but I'm the only one I know who's had a faulty one. I know plenty of other people have bought them. Are they expensive at 140? Yes. But I can't think of anything else, and I must admit, I'm trying to use my manual shifter. Right, hold on, there's the garage there, I've got to go there. I'm trying to use my H-pattern shifter and flick these switches here to do my changes. Do you know what? I do miss my shifter. You know, if you find yourself with the money spare, I would recommend buying one, especially if you play a lot of ETS. Definitely worth it. If you only play the game occasionally, then maybe just stick with, you know, an automatic gearbox in the truck. It's a lot easier. But But if you want to be drawn into the game more, then yes, truck shifter, absolutely. But again, make sure you've got a spare USB port. Right, let's go through here. Right, let's fill it up. Well, assuming there's nothing wrong with the pedals, 40 quid's a bargain price. How close? I wouldn't say I'm particularly close. You know you can change that as well, didn't you? I usually back off a bit with this, yeah? But again, that's down to your field of view. Make sure you set your field of view right as well. Because if you've got the field of view set up when you're setting up triple screens, if you get that figure wrong, it'll put everything out of whack as well. So I've assumed you've got your field of view set up for triples as well. That wasn't 6, was it? There we are. So we are filled up to the brim with fuel. We don't have to worry about running out of fuel. It never happened. You saw nothing. Yeah, there's a couple of things you have to do in the config. Have you got the link for it? If you do a search for ETS2 multiplayer in Google, triple screen, you'll find an official kind of page that talks you through the process, gives you how to do the calculation and where to change it. No, you can change seating position. You can still do it. Except I can't do it now. Hold on. Oh, I can't pull off the side of the road by there. I was going to do a naughty. Hold on, let me get up here now. You can still change your seating up and down, forward and back. So if I stop on here, let me put my hazards on. I'll be nice. So shift F4. Do that 3 times. And you've still got your pitch up and down. You've still got your position up and down. You can still zoom in. You can still zoom out. No, granted, but that's because of your field of view. So if you feel that you're still sitting too close, it could be that you've put your field of view in wrong. If you've put it incorrect, but you still feel it's too close for you, change your field of view setting to slightly more, or the opposite, slightly less, depending which way you want it. So if it tells you to calculate it and your calculation comes out, say, 40 degrees, add another 10 on it and see if that works better for you. Because although you'll have a calculator which will tell you the proper setting, it may not look right to you. And I know what you're saying, because I did the same when I first did mine. I played around with the field of view quite a bit. You can't use this setting here, because this one is just no-go now, because you fixed the field of view. So all you need to do is, if you think, you know what, I'm sitting a bit too close for what I want, then add another 10 degrees onto your field of view, and then try it again and see if that works. That's what you need to do. So now I've got to put this back to where it was. Hold on, where's middle? I think I looked down quite a bit. I think that's it. Near enough. Let's crack on. Hazards off. Yeah, what you need to do is just play with your field of view setting in that config file. Add another 5 or 10 degrees to your original setting and see if that works better for you. Because I did the same when I first had mine. I played around. I'm actually thinking of going back in and tweaking it again, because it's been a while since I've checked it, and I've repositioned my monitors after I've built this rig, so it probably needs another tweak. I couldn't even tell you what mine is. I think I was hovering, I was playing around the settings between 60 to 70, but I couldn't tell you what I've got it set at. But to be honest, your settings will be different to mine, because, you know, I'm running 34-inch 21:9s. If you're running 16:9s, that will be a different value. And again, it depends on how far away from the screen you are as well. You know, if your screens are closer, you might want to run a slightly wider. If they're further away, you might want to do more narrow. It'll vary, you know, and your preference may be different from mine. Yeah, if you get that information from that website loaded, it'll tell you how to calculate it. So do the calculation, make a note of what value you get, and then play with the figure. So let's say it tells you, I don't know, 60 degrees. Then do 65, do 70, and you have to save, go into the game, check it, come out, change it, save, go into the game, check it. That's a EVGA 1080 Ti. I think it's in the description. It should be anyway. I don't know if I've updated it. I think I did. I prefer to do it through the game config rather than the console. My problem is when I do things in the console, I end up pressing a wrong button somewhere and I change something and I don't realise what I've changed, so I stick with just editing a text file. It's easier. I haven't got anything really to show. The camera's kind of fixed. Your best bet, if you have a look at some of my other videos where I've done information videos about products on my rig, you may see my PC rig in there as well. I did do a recent build, but that had an MSI card. I did have an MSI 1080 Ti, but I've recently swapped it to an EVGA. But there should be a PC build video probably in the last month. Granted, it's not a very good video because I had problems with the stream. That's just my luck. But it shows you what was there. And I think I did a quick video of the PC built and in place as well. Onto here. You mean on these? That one's a phone, and that one's obviously a tablet. I use a program called Sim Dashboard. You can download a free version. It only works on Android devices, so obviously Android phone, Android tablet, and it links wirelessly using your home Wi-Fi network to do all the information. There's plenty of presets to download and configurations of screens already done, or if you want to, you can make your own. There's other programs that do the same thing. There's Sim Hub, but I find Sim Dashboard being way easier than anything else to configure, set, and use. So my recommendation, if it's just screens, is Sim Dashboard. I'm using the Pro version, which is the paid for. Can't remember how much the Pro version is, but in my eyes, well worth the investment because it works with loads of different driving games. So I would recommend it to anybody, to be honest. They have tried. I don't know if I've got it on you. The problem is, you've got to kind of download it. But when you download it, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, we'll give it a try now. You can see it's trying to download. It's not very good though. It's more like the 2D one here. But there we are. It's loaded in for a change. And it will rotate. But obviously I would prefer this to be a 3D sat-nav, because this isn't really any use to me. If they could do what you have there on here, I'd be there in a shot. But I suppose that's good for a little reference, but it's very rare I use it. I tend to use the one on the screen for that. I think you can zoom in as well on levels. Let's try, shall we? There we are, I can zoom in as well. And it updates with me, it's rotating. So it's kind of cool, you know? But I mean, I do prefer having my information screen. You know, I've got my real time, I've got the game time, got the estimated time of arrival, got the damage to the truck and the trailer, I've got my cargo and weight, got my gear, got my speed, got my fuel when I remember to look at it, and I got my air pressure there if I need it, speed limits, cruise control, and again some of that's duplicated here so it's there in front of me. But you know, you don't need to have brand new gear. You can use any old Android phone or tablet. I started off just using an old Galaxy S3 phone. I upgraded to the Honor 9 Lite though, because it was a much faster and a bigger screen. And I thought, you know what, it'd be really nice to have another screen, like a secondary information screen. And I use this for my rally driving along with, you know, my ETS and, well, any other game or driving game that I have. I don't know if you can ski now, but if I do that button, that's the list of games that it works with. So you've got things like F1 2018, Assetto Corsa, Forza Motorsport, Project Cars, MotoGP, Race Room, F1 2017, Euro Truck, American Truck, Automobilista, Beam, NG Drive, Dirt 4, Dirt Rally, Dirt 3, Dirt 2, Formula F1 2016, 15, 14, 13, 12, GTR, GTR 2, GT Legends, Grid, Live for Speed, Project Cars 2, Richard Burns Rally, R Factor, Race 07, and yeah, there's probably more that I missed. No, you know what? I waited and waited and waited. They were talking about doing an iPad version, but they never got round to do with it. You tend to find that iPads are locked down a hell of a lot more, so it restricts what they can and can't do. So I don't think he ever got round to doing an iPad version. But mind you, you can pick up Android tablets cheap. This was an £89 tablet, and I bought that specifically for this because I was there going, I really would like to have an extra screen. And the good thing with this program as well, which I haven't actually programmed in, let me see if I can do it now. This will be interesting. We do add, and we need an empty page. This is how easy it is. Let me slow myself down because that's quite fast. And we're gonna do add a design. And we're gonna do it from a template. This is Huawei T3 8-inch tablet. Oh, the tablet works as normal. You can carry on doing what you would normally do. The best bit is, though, let me see now, community. Oh, hold on, gotta slow down. Ugh. And if I do a search for ETS, search, it'll download, well, I'll show you all the mods it's got for ETS that people have already uploaded. Get that one. Install. And these are already pre-done by people. There's no charge for these. What the community have done. So what you can do as well, you can make, technically, a digital button box. So you don't have to buy something like this, which would cost you, I don't know, £100. So not only could I have this as a display, but this will give me a set of buttons I can program that will work with ETS. All I do is assign these to a keyboard character. You know, like A, B, C, D, E. Do that on the keyboard into the game, and this will then toggle devices on and off. So if I save that, let's say I've programmed it to work correctly, you can toggle, you can do your engine start, stop, toggle switches on and off. It's such a versatile program, and it's not just ETS, you can do that on almost any game. You know, all this is doing is key mapping. You know, you're assigning that to button A, that to button B, C, D, E, F, all the way through. And you can add as many buttons, make them as big or as small as you like. It's a brilliant program. And again, you can have pages. So when you've got the Pro version, you know, that's my main page, but I've got that one as a secondary. So I've got that one, I've got the map. I'll have to re-download the map now I've gone off it. Oh, there we are. It's still there, but I'm scrolling around it by the looks of it. And then I've got the button box now. And if I wanted to, I could program that in to work correctly, and it will work and do the functions. You can set it up as well that it will auto-detect the game that you're playing. But one of my games, Project Cars, is a bit of a pain, because when you try to play Project Cars 2, because of the way Project Cars works, it kind of swaps between Project Cars 1 and Project Cars 2. So it just keeps swapping screens all the time, which is rather annoying. So I turn the auto switch off. But if you don't have Project Cars, you could do auto switch. And if I go from ETS to Dirt Rally, you know, to F1 2018, it'll just swap. I have mine permanently plugged in. This, to me, is just for PC use. This is just for the rig. It's not used for anything else. You know, yes, I have an iPad, but that's upstairs, and I use that for my general use away from the PC. All I've got is a lead, a USB lead. It doesn't even plug into the PC. It's plugged into a 6-way USB adapter. So anything on my rig that needs power goes into that 6-way USB power, and that plugs into one socket. So I've got one plug that does 6 USB devices, and then it connects to the PC wirelessly, and all the data is sent wirelessly. You can do it through USB, but there's no need. wireless is fast enough, it updates quick enough, I get no problems. Yeah, I've turned the auto detect off because I do play Project Cars now and again. And every time I launch Project Cars, I haven't fathomed out why it is. I think there's just a setting that I haven't done properly. But it just cycles through the screens and I'm like, no, don't cycle, just sit on Project Cars, please. Which profile now? The ETS profile? No, the ETS is my own profile. I made the profile. I put an XP mod on it for a bit of cash. That gave me 4 million in cash, and then I've taken it off and then I've launched it into multiplayer. So it just means I got a bit of cash to start with. Yeah, you don't have to. You can do your own. It's just how you use it. If you're going to use any mod, or cheat, shall we say, just do it in single player. Once you've done it, take the mods off, delete it, and just launch into multiplayer. You'll be fine. But I just did it so I had a bit of cash. As I say, my main profile, which is single player only, that's built from the ground up, and I've been driving that for years. Well, not for years, but you know, for a good number of hours. Come on. Hold it. You know what? I used to play with Pro Mods all the time, and I must admit, because SCS have gone back and reworked a lot of the areas, I'm not missing Pro Mods at all. And Pro Mods does hit your frame rate as well. It does take a good chunk of frame rate off you. I'm enjoying playing it without Pro Mods, but I must admit, when Pro Mods is updated, I probably will download it again, pay my £1 whatever, slap it back in, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a break from DLC and it won't be a problem, you know? But I used to run with Pro Mods and Rust Map, but I've taken them off now whilst I wait for them to be reworked, and once they're sorted then I'll probably put them back on. What you got to remember though is Pro Mods doesn't really bring anything graphical to the game. It's more scenery based on the areas that they've enhanced, which isn't everywhere. Okay. What we got? We got 3 hours 16, 134 miles to go, 733 litres in the tank, so we're A-OK for fuel. And it's what, 2:59, and we are 23 hours remaining on the job. I tell you what, if we find a rest stop on the way, we might grab that. 3 hours remaining, so it'll probably be daybreak by the time we arrive otherwise, so a sleep might be nice. I'm trying to get myself back into ATS. I did start doing ATS and VR. So I'm trying to do a series there. The problem is, every time I launch ATS, I've got so much configuration to do to get it working in the Vive. It's like, geez, and it's really off-putting. I wish it was a simpler way of just launching straight into VR without faffing around. Maybe every VR title I've got to mess around to get it to work nicely. And I just don't want to have that hassle. But I'll play it again. I think once the New Year's gone and I'm back into my routine, I can start. I used to do it on the weekends more than anything, because I had more time to play with, say, on a Saturday than I would during the week. And it takes me a good, if I'm lucky, half hour. If I'm having a bad day, maybe an hour and a half just to get it going. So yeah, you will see some videos there with an ATS profile started in VR. Personally, I prefer triples, mainly because of the resolution. VR is nice and it draws you into the game, but for me the resolution isn't quite there. It's really nice, you know, if they could get that resolution done, VR trucking is awesome. Because it really does bring you in, you really do, you know, when you're holding onto the wheel here, you really do feel like you're driving a truck, you know. All I need is a little fan blowing air at me and I'll be like, oh, the wind's in my hair and everything. But yeah, it is good. Triple screens is damn close though. You know, you still got the similar, you can look left, you can look right. Just with VR, I can turn my head, look behind and see the bed behind me and things like that in ATS. If they give you legs and you could walk out and jump out of the cab and stuff, that would be fun, but I doubt they'd do that. But it is fun. I've done, obviously ETS is available in VR as well. But, you know, I'm having to knock the graphics down just to get the VR to run smooth. Not that I'm running max here, I don't run ultra, I run about high. Yep, you can. I have seen them. I have... Oh, where am I going? Going this way. I have thought about getting some, to be honest. But again, it's finding the room on the rig to get them placed. I might, if I was going to go for it, I'd probably go for the tube ones, so you can run the tube wherever you need them. And they, you know, the fans say are on the floor and they're blowing air up through the tube where you need them. I don't know whether I can get some USB, you know, 140mm fans and just strap them to some tubing and route it up somewhere. Might look into that. It is crazy. There's many different things you can get if you wanted to. It's all about the money. Right, I've definitely gone the wrong way because it's like dead and there's nothing out this way. I've chosen the most boring route ever. And it's night time. Sucks. When do they have a go at you for driving with full beams on when no one else is around? Let's play nice. Oh god, yeah. There was a guy I was watching who was did that BMW dashboard. He's modified a BMW steering wheel to work on his rig. Modified the gear shifter to go into the center console. I'd love to do something like that. I just haven't got the time or the inclination to even do it though. But yeah, having a nice dashboard styled, having it mounted correctly like a proper steering wheel, having a little LCD panel so you can do your things there as well. A HGV test, you're probably looking about £1,500. Yeah, that's the one, an extra mile. That's the guy. A Siri going about HGT. Shut up. HG licenses and all that. Where am I going? Right, they're going the right way. Yeah, extra mile. That was the one I was watching. He's got a great little rig. I would love something like that, but you know, buying a BMW center console and dash, modifying it to fit his rig, getting it all working in, BMW seat, steering wheel all converted. Did a good job, I like it. I think he even got the air vents working as well, didn't he? Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, yeah, I'd love to get to something like that, but I don't think I ever would. I never thought I'd get to this level, to be honest. You know, I've literally squeezed this into the corner of a room. I don't think I can expand on its size any further. Oh, look out. Nightbot's around. Oh, jeez, I'm turning by here. I swear, there's something that's triggering my Nightbot. I haven't fathomed out what's triggering it. Maybe it's the word bot. I don't know. I'll have to go in and double check to see if there's anything listed. I don't know. Just ignore Nightbot. Just having one of those moments. Yeah, but it's not just trucking you do, though, is it? It's like people say to me, you know, oh, why have you spent so much money on all this? Why didn't you just go racing? And it's like, well, yeah, you know what? You can go racing, but if I trash a car every weekend, it's going to cost me more than I spent on this rig. Yeah, I think we've just discovered it was the word bot. Must be something as a trigger in there. I'll have to double check that one. Thanks for discovering that for me, off-key. Think he was on a mission to find out what it was. Bit of a squeeze, this one, but we'll do it. And nice and straight. Justice delivered. You gotta love the way Nightbot does that, though. Right, where are we? Mapping. Let's have a look, shall we? As you can see, that's not exactly 80% done. I've got shed loads to do on this. This is my profile that I've hardly touched. So I've got lots to explore. Anyway, it has gone midnight. It's 12 past actually here in the UK for anybody who's not around this way. I am gonna leave it there and make a move and head to bed. Hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for the ones who have stuck around talking to me. Jake, thank you. Off-key, good to see you. Sorry about Nightbot. I'll try and sort that out soon enough. And thanks for discovering what was triggering it. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Support the channel if you can. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.